Hi guys, K-God here. I figured it would be fun to do a tier list on all the Everdark sovereigns that we have fought so far. I'm hoping that they do one for the Night Lord, although it probably doesn't make sense, but it would be cool to see a way more challenging Night Lord. But you know, that's just wishful thinking. Also, shout out to Frozen Dusk for making this excellent tier maker template. I really like the pictures that they used here. Very awesome. So yeah, let's get this going. So Gaping Jaw is automatically S tier. I love this fight, and my only issue with this fight is that he set the bar up pretty freaking high for the rest of the bosses. His mechanics are amazing. I love, jumping into the tornado. I love all his move sets. He's so aggressive to you, like it almost feels like there's no room to breathe, and that might be a negative for some people, but for me, I really love challenges, and this guy is the best one that that they ever came up with. I think I don't think there's going to be any other boss here that is going to be S tier. I think this guy is the best example of what the team has put out for Everdark Sovereign versions. He's great. I love him. He's awesome. So next, let's talk about Folore. So I love him. He's a great fight. He keeps you pretty much on your toes. The new moveset they gave him is pretty great. I love the explosion that he does too. They did a really good job with this fight. I do love it. However, my only gripe with him is that I feel like I love his base version form better. I feel like that tentacle arm that he gets is way more punishing than any of the powers that he gets here. So that's my only problem with him. Otherwise, maybe he'd be S tier, but honestly, he didn't feel super challenging. I think the swings that he does where he's like kind of like spamming it, I feel like that move was mostly for show, because you can just roll behind him and you get rid of, like, you don't really get hit. So for me, like, I'm putting him in A tier. He's great. He's amazing. That my only issues were, just that it really pains me to just put him here, but I do feel like his base version was way tougher and a little bit more challenging in that aspect. So I'm putting him here. So now let's change gears a little bit, and I might ruffle some feathers here because, I think people do like this fight, but personally, I do not like this fight at all. And that's going to be the bugs. So this fight by itself, like on the normal version, was okay. I liked it. But now you're making me do this fight like 5 or 6 times, basically, every time when the third butterfly comes in to revive. And I do like the moves. They're very flashy, but to me that's kind of all there was. Like, they weren't like super challenging. They weren't like I don't know, they just didn't scratch that itch that the Gaping Jaw does with his mechanics. This one is just like, I just run out and then I'm safe. So like, it kind of just defeats the purpose. I'm just there to watch the move happen, and then I just rush back in, and it's just rush back in, rush back out, and then I'm chasing the butterfly if we don't have any ranged. And that's another point too, like, if you're melee on this fight, it just kind of fucking sucks, and you're gonna spend like 15 minutes on this fight. Like, there's just so much health. It's just very annoying to do this fight, and I really don't like it. And I'm gonna switch this around. All right, I don't think we have any F tier bosses, but I think we do have some D tiers, and I think the bug is one of them. So here's another one that's probably gonna ruffle a few feathers, but the Ice Dragon. I think his moveset is pretty cool in this Everdark version, but to me, it feels like this should have been his base version, because I did not like his base version either. And the biggest criticism I have is that you're literally chasing this motherfucker the whole fight. He just backs up every freaking time. It's very annoying. It's not fun for me to have to chase down the boss. And like, how can I say this? It's not like, it doesn't make him like D tier like the bugs do, but like, I just wish I expected more of this. Like I want that challenge from him, and he doesn't give that. Like I just feel like it's just expanded his moveset, but not in a very difficult way. And everything you can deal with pretty much everything. I like the spectacle of some of his moves. I like the Midir callback, you know, with that one move he does. But I hate chasing this motherfucker down. It's very not fun, but I do recognize that it's not a bad fight. This might just be like a preference thing, but I definitely cannot put him on the same tier as Folore, because I'm not chasing this guy like half the time, and Folore does present some sort of challenge, and here most of the challenge is just getting to him and not getting hit with his long range moves and having to deal with the extra ice stuff that you get, right? The extra status element too. Like it's just not fun for me, but I don't think he's terrible. I just think that he could have been done better, and that's why I'm going to put him in B tier. I think that's a good spot for him, and you know, you can make the case for A tier. That's fine with me, but you know, I cannot justify that he's on the same tier as the A tier bosses. But he's definitely not D or C tier. So who do we got next? Okay, let's go positive. All right, let's go positive. And obviously we got our boys, the loyal boys. This fight I feel like is a straight up pinnacle example of how you do an Everdark boss fight. Every moveset that he gets, even the one that he steals from the Night Lord, it feels like it's fitting for him, and they change it to be fitting for him. And dude, he's a motherfucker. He's on your ass when he splits into the 3 dogs. It's not like the base form when you fought him. Now he's like super scary when he splits into the 3 dogs, and the charges that he gets, holy shit, dude. Like this makes me believe that he actually got the Night Lord's power type of shit, you know? Like this fight is just great. He whoops my ass. But he's very rewarding to fight against. He's just awesome, amazing. And you could honestly flip either of these guys around. I'm just gonna leave them here. I'd probably have to fight both again just to kind of get a good idea. The most recent, you know, obviously we fought was the dogs themselves, but it's a great fight. I love it. I love everything they've done with it. There's a few moves that are like, god damn, dude, I wish that he didn't do that, but like it adds to that challenge, because now you just can't be like spam rolling, you know? Like you can't turn your brain off for him. You have to just stay locked in, or you're gonna get hit, or you might even be potentially one shot, which is kind of crazy. But I love it. I love this fight. I hope you guys do too, and I hope you guys agree that he's at least A tier. Maybe some of you guys might say S tier, and that's fine, but for me, definitely he's A tier. I don't even know if you can make the argument that you can go to S tier for him, because I don't really have any complaints about him, right? So this could honestly go either way. But I'm comfortable placing him in A tier just because I feel like I've had more fun fighting the Gaping Jaw than the wolves. Now, I think this one is going to be kind of obvious, right? But the Augur, or whatever the hell this thing is called, right? So the thing is that I really like his Everdark version moveset. I love the moveset. I love the bubbles that he spawns. I love the lasers that he does. I love that big ass laser that he does. I love the big waves that they gave him. It feels like he definitely powered up from this Everdark stuff. But then you have the gimmick of the fight, and it's like yet another Stormcaller fight. And I appreciate the reference, but I think for most of the Souls vets, I think we can say that this fight is kind of done and it should not be returned. And his health pool is so huge that by the first fourth of his health, you're done with the fight. But then you realize that you still have to do this for 3/4 of his health that is still left. And for me, it's just not fun, and it takes away from having to deal with everything else, especially because there's at least some form of skill expression here where you can like time your charges and you can deflect like the bubbles that he throws at you, which is a neat detail. So there's like a lot going for this fight, and it's just a great step in the right direction. But honestly, like he's just not a good fight, and there's really no challenge for him. And I think he's definitely the worst Everdark by far. Even compared with the bugs, because at the very least the bugs are somewhat engaging when you're on there. At the very least the Scorpion is, I should say. The Scorpion is pretty engaging to fight, but the Augur is just, I don't know, like I like the mechanics, but like at some point in the fight you realize that they're just stopping you from killing the boss in a faster manner, because you don't want to be in this fight any longer. Like, you just don't want to fight this guy anymore because it's not fun. So he's definitely the most unfun, and it's a shame because, again, the mechanics they gave him are great. I do like, it feels like he's gotten the Everdark power, or whatever the power it is that these guys get, right? So, but that alone just kind of kills the fight for me. And that's actually a good segue into the last fight that I haven't talked about, the Libra fight. And don't get me wrong, I love his normal fight. His normal fight is an S tier fight. There's no doubt about that for me. But the Everdark version, I just can't agree with putting him on anything higher than B or C. And I honestly don't know where to put him. My main criticism for this fight is, what about him is Everdark? I like the cool mechanic where he divides the field, and then that he can just go berserk at any time, and that he just randomly spawns like the bargains and stuff, so like you're on your toes a lot. But that's kind of it. The rest of his Everdark mechanic is using summons. Like, that's his main defense, so to speak. And to me, the guys in the higher tier all offer something, and that's that their Everdark versions are completely about them. All the attention is given to them, and every move that they use is like their own. Libra outsources his Everdark mechanic to summons, and while yes, it's challenging and it's a welcome challenge, to me it severely weakens his presence as a boss. He's just there, hanging out, maybe throwing out like a bargain or whatever, but this fight just encourages you to bring the most absolute broken shit to deal with the summons so that you can have a somewhat normal fight with the Libra. And is it fair? I think that's up for debate. Personally, I think it's fine because there's 3 of you, but it's also not very fun, especially when you let it get to like 6 summons. It's just very chaotic, and I feel like his normal fight is controlled chaos, but this fight just breaks down into chaos if you're not taking care of the summons. And that's my problem with this fight. And honestly, I put him this high because I love his moveset, but if I'm being honest, I gotta throw him below the rest of the bosses, because at the very least, every boss mechanic is tied to themselves and Libra is not. The only saving thing for this is the challenge, and I'm gonna put him in C just because of that. But like, honestly, you could argue that he's like maybe the worst Everdark boss, and that's not like saying that it's not a challenge, right? Like, it's just how well did they design this fight? And to me, like, there's nothing Everdark about the Libra. It's just the fight that he brings is, I guess, kind of fun because of the challenge, but that's it. So honestly, you can argue, putting him somewhere else. So I think that's it. I hope my arguments kind of help solidify my choices, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinions as well. I would also love to see your guys' tiers as well. So again, you can go to Tier Maker and search for the Frozen Dusk template, and you can rank them like this as well, and I would love to see them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. You know what, man? I'm putting him as tier. I don't give a fuck.